Ladies and gentlemen, there is a moment in life, a moment not always recognized in its infancy, when the air shifts and the ground beneath you no longer feels the same. You sense an undercurrent of change, an unspoken force at play. And yet, instead of immediate triumph, you are met with trials. You wonder, why now? Why me? The answer is simple. You are being prepared for something greater than you have ever known. There will come a time when the world around you seems to shift unexpectedly, almost as if unseen hands are moving the pieces of your life without your consent. It is a time of turbulence, and it will not be gentle. But understand this: when something great is about to enter your life, the road will not be smooth. It will shake, it will tremble, and it will test you in ways you never imagined. This is not a sign of failure, nor is it a punishment. It is the fire before the gold is refined, the storm before the land is nourished. When you are destined for something beyond what you currently know, the universe does not simply hand it to you. You are prepared for it, shaped, stretched, and forged in the fire of difficulty. Perhaps you have noticed it already. The obstacles have multiplied. The ease with which you once navigated life now seems distant. Things that once worked effortlessly now appear to resist you at every turn. Doors that should have opened remain shut. People who once stood by your side seem distant. Even your own emotions, once steady, may feel erratic, as if something within you is wrestling with the unseen. Do not despair. This is the shaking before the breakthrough. The reason for this turbulence is simple. Growth demands discomfort. A tree does not grow its strongest roots in gentle conditions. It digs deeper when the wind threatens to uproot it. The human spirit, much like nature, thrives under pressure. You are being molded into someone capable of holding the weight of the blessing that is to come. If greatness arrived too soon, untested and unearned, it would crumble in your hands. Consider the stories of those who achieved something extraordinary. Their paths were never without struggle. The athlete trains until the body aches. The artist creates until frustration turns to mastery. The leader faces rejection, criticism, and failure before wisdom is earned. It is in the hardship that their strength is forged, and so it is with you. You may feel as if you are losing control. The life you built may seem unsteady. It is tempting to retreat, to seek comfort, to abandon the unknown in favor of the familiar. But that is not your path. You are being prepared for something that requires you to be more resilient, more patient, more disciplined. Instead of resisting the turbulence, embrace it. See it for what it is, evidence that something greater is on the horizon. When the challenge grows, it is because the reward that follows is equally immense. So when the world shakes around you, do not mistake it for destruction. It is merely the prelude to transformation. Stand firm, endure the winds, and remember, what is coming is greater than what has been. There will come a time when the people around you begin to fade, not in the way that friendships naturally drift apart, but in a way that feels deliberate, almost orchestrated. Those you once leaned on, those who once spoke words of encouragement, may suddenly seem distant. Conversations that once flowed effortlessly may become strained. Invitations will stop, calls will go unanswered. The support you thought was unwavering may vanish without explanation. You will question it, you will wonder what you did wrong, why the bonds that once felt so secure now feel fragile. The silence will be loud, the loneliness heavy. But this is not a mistake. It is not a coincidence. It is preparation. Not everyone can go where you are going. When something extraordinary is about to enter your life, you must be in the right environment to receive it. And often, that environment requires solitude. The distractions, the unnecessary attachments, the people who no longer align with your journey, they begin to fall away. Some will leave because they cannot comprehend the path you are on. Others will be removed because they were never meant to witness what is coming for you. It will feel like loss, but in reality it is refinement. A sculptor does not create by adding, but by chipping away. The masterpiece emerges not through accumulation, but through removal. The same is happening to you. You may feel tempted to hold on, to chase those who are slipping away, but understand this: anyone who is meant to be in your life will stay without force. Those who truly belong will find their way back in due time. But those who leave were never meant to carry the weight of your destiny with you. This phase will be lonely, yes, but loneliness is not the enemy. It is a teacher. In solitude, clarity emerges. In silence, intuition sharpens. You will begin to hear the voice of your own purpose more clearly, free from the noise of external opinions. You will no longer seek validation from those who cannot see your vision. Instead, you will find strength in the knowledge that this solitude is not emptiness, it is sacred space. The greatest transformations often happen in isolation. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly in a crowded field, but in the quiet, hidden cocoon. The seed does not sprout under watchful eyes, but beneath the soil, unseen and buried. So too must you endure this process. When the transformation is complete, when you have stepped into the fullness of what was meant for you, you will look back and understand. The absence of certain people was not a punishment, but a necessity. The loneliness was not abandonment, but preparation. And in that realization, you will be grateful. Grateful for the space that allowed you to grow, and for the wisdom to recognize that sometimes, when people walk away, it is simply the universe making room for something greater. There will come a moment when the very doors that once remained stubbornly closed begin to shift, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. At first, you may not recognize it. It may come in the form of a conversation, a new acquaintance, or an idea that suddenly takes root in your mind. It may be subtle, a suggestion, an invitation, a moment of clarity that was previously absent. And then, as if guided by an unseen force, the opportunities begin to unfold before you. It is easy to dismiss these moments as mere coincidence. You may feel unprepared, hesitant, even skeptical. But understand this: when something great is meant for you, life will begin to rearrange itself in ways that defy logic. Situations that once seemed impossible will suddenly present themselves as reachable. The people you need will cross your path, often without effort. Doors that were locked will open, and you will find yourself standing at the threshold of something unfamiliar yet exhilarating. But here is the truth: opportunity does not always come wrapped in certainty. It often arrives disguised as discomfort. You may find yourself in a new environment, surrounded by unfamiliar faces, asked to step into a role that feels too big for you. Your mind will question if you are truly ready, but the very presence of these opportunities is proof that you are. The universe does not place before you that which you are not meant to receive. The opening of doors does not mean you will not have to walk through them. Too often, people hesitate, waiting for a perfect moment that never comes. They second-guess, overanalyze, and let fear convince them that they are not yet ready. But when life presents you with an opportunity, you must step forward. Even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, the only thing worse than not having a door open is standing before it and refusing to enter. Some opportunities will seem too small to matter, but do not be deceived. The smallest decisions can lead to the grandest transformations. A single yes to something outside your comfort zone can place you on a path that alters the course of your entire life. What may seem insignificant today may be the very thing that leads you to the breakthrough you have been waiting for. You must also recognize that not every open door is meant for you. Some are distractions, tests to see if you have the wisdom to discern what aligns with your true path. This is why clarity and self-awareness are crucial. Do not rush through every open doorway simply because it is there. Pause, reflect, and ask yourself, is this leading me toward growth, or is it pulling me away from my purpose? When the right opportunity comes, it will challenge you, stretch you, and demand that you step into a version of yourself that you have not yet met. And that is the beauty of it. The doors are not simply there to lead you to something great. They are there to reveal the greatness that already exists within you. There comes a moment when the life you are living no longer fits. What once brought comfort now feels constraining. What once excited you now seems dull. It is not that your circumstances have changed drastically. On the surface, everything appears the same. But deep within, there is a stirring, a sense of unease that refuses to be ignored. You may dismiss it as restlessness, a passing phase, but this feeling is different. It lingers. It whispers to you in quiet moments, in the stillness of the night, in the pauses between conversations. It is the unmistakable sign that something within you is awakening. You are being called to more. This discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is proof that you are outgrowing your current reality. The soul knows when it is time to evolve. The mind, however, resists. It clings to familiarity, to routine, to what is known and predictable. But growth does not happen in the known. It happens in the space between where you are and where you are meant to be. You may find yourself questioning everything. The job you once worked so hard to get may no longer fulfill you. The relationships you have invested in may feel misaligned. The daily routine that once brought security may now seem mundane. This is not boredom. It is transformation in progress. There is a reason you can no longer settle into your old patterns. Your purpose is pulling you forward. The discomfort is not meant to frustrate you. It is meant to propel you. It is life's way of telling you that remaining where you are is no longer an option. The longer you resist, the stronger the feeling becomes. The more you ignore it, the heavier the burden feels. Many people mistake this internal unrest as a sign to retreat, to shrink back into comfort. But comfort is not where growth happens. True change requires stepping into the unknown, despite the uncertainty. It requires trusting that this feeling is not leading you astray, but guiding you towards something greater. However, is that the path ahead will not be clearly marked. You will not be given a detailed map. Instead, you will receive glimpses, a new idea, a chance encounter, a growing curiosity. These are the signposts, the gentle nudges pushing you toward your next chapter. The choice is yours. Ignore the calling and remain in the familiar, or embrace the discomfort and allow it to transform you. Those who choose comfort over growth may find temporary relief, but the unrest will return, stronger than before. It will not disappear until you listen. If you find yourself in this place, unsettled, uncertain, yet inexplicably drawn to something more, know this: you are on the brink of something profound. Do not silence the voice inside you. It is not fear, it is guidance. It is not doubt, it is direction. And it will not lead you anywhere but exactly where you are meant to be. There will come a moment when everything that once seemed unclear begins to make sense. The doubts that clouded your mind will fade, and the confusion that once paralyzed you will give way to clarity. This is not by accident. It is the final stage of preparation before something great enters your life. The process feels subtle. You notice that your thoughts are sharper, your instincts stronger. Decisions that once felt overwhelming now seem obvious. It is not that life has suddenly become easier. Rather, you have grown into the version of yourself who is ready to handle what is coming. The storms you have endured have strengthened you. The challenges you faced have given you wisdom, and now, as the next chapter of your life approaches, you will find yourself standing with a newfound sense of purpose. One of the clearest signs that something great is near is the sharpening of your vision. No longer are you easily distracted by things that once pulled you away from your path. The opinions of others, which once held such power over you, now seem insignificant. The need for approval, the fear of failure, these emotions lose their grip. Instead, you become focused, determined, aware of what truly matters. But clarity alone is not enough. Alongside it, you will notice something even more powerful: resilience. You will find that the things that once shook you no longer have the same effect. The disappointments that would have once discouraged you now serve only as lessons. The setbacks that would have broken you in the past now feel like stepping stones rather than barriers. This is not coincidence. It is preparation. When something big is about to enter your life, you are given the strength to handle it, because what is coming will not just be a blessing, it will also be a responsibility. And responsibility requires endurance. It requires wisdom. It requires the ability to stand firm in the face of both success and challenge. There will be moments when you feel the weight of this transformation. You may wonder why you suddenly feel different from those around you. You may notice that your interests have shifted, your priorities have changed. This is not something to fear. It is a sign that you are elevating to a new level. And not everyone will understand it. But do not let this discourage you. When your vision becomes clear and your strength deepens, you will realize that you no longer need external validation. You will trust yourself more than ever before. And in that trust, you will find the courage to step fully into the life that is waiting for you. So if you find yourself feeling stronger, more certain, and less affected by the noise around you, take it as a sign. You are being prepared for something greater. And when the moment arrives, you will not hesitate. You will step forward, not as the person you once were, but as the person you were always meant to become. When something extraordinary is about to enter your life, you will feel it before you see it. The shift is internal long before it manifests externally. It is as if something within you is being realigned, recalibrated, and prepared for a reality greater than the one you have known. But this process is not always smooth, nor is it predictable. It is often unsettling, marked by both excitement and uncertainty. One of the first things you will notice is an undeniable pull toward something new. This is not a fleeting thought or a passing curiosity. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that where you are is no longer where you are meant to be. The things that once satisfied you may begin to lose their appeal. Conversations that once interested you may start to feel shallow. The routine you once embraced may start to feel suffocating. This is not boredom, it is evolution. You are growing into a new version of yourself, one that is ready to handle what is coming. And with this growth comes an increased awareness of what no longer serves you. Old habits, outdated beliefs, and even certain relationships may begin to feel out of place. It is not that they are wrong or bad, it is simply that they no longer fit the person you are becoming. You will start to recognize opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Situations that once seemed too difficult or too far out of reach will now appear within your grasp. This is because your mindset is shifting. Your perspective is expanding. You are beginning to see possibilities instead of limitations. But this transformation is not just about vision, it is also about endurance. As you move closer to your breakthrough, you will notice a newfound resilience within yourself. Challenges that once drained you will no longer have the same power. Criticism that once wounded you will now serve only as fuel for your growth. Fear that once held you back will begin to lose its grip. This is because you are no longer reacting to life as you once did. You are responding with wisdom, with patience, and with a deep trust in the process. You are learning that setbacks are not roadblocks, they are tests of your readiness. Every obstacle, every delay, every moment of doubt is shaping you into the person who is capable of handling the magnitude of what is to come. Almost without realizing it, you will feel the shift. The weight of uncertainty will lift. The hesitation will fade. You will no longer question if you are ready. You will know that you are. The clarity will be undeniable. The strength undeniable. You will stand with a quiet confidence, not because you have everything figured out, but because you trust that everything is aligning exactly as it should. This is the moment before the breakthrough, the final stretch before the reward. And when the opportunity presents itself, you will not hesitate. You will step into it fully, knowing that everything, every challenge, every lesson, every moment of uncertainty has prepared you for this very moment. Everything you have experienced, the challenges, the solitude, the shifting of your environment, the moments of discomfort, has not been for nothing. It has been a preparation, a refinement, a necessary process to shape you into the person who is ready to receive something greater. When God is about to give you something big, the signs are unmistakable. The struggles intensify, but so does your strength. People leave, but your path becomes clearer. Opportunities arise, but they require you to step forward with courage. Your old life no longer fits, and though the transition is uncomfortable, deep within, you know that something powerful is coming. This is not the time to retreat. It is not the time to second-guess your journey. It is the time to trust. Trust that every difficulty has strengthened you. Every loss has freed you. Every delay has positioned you exactly where you need to be. Greatness does not arrive by accident. It is given to those who are ready, to those who have endured, to those who have remained steadfast even when everything seemed uncertain. And now, you stand at the edge of something extraordinary. So when you feel the shift, when you see the signs, when the discomfort rises, when the doors begin to open, do not hesitate. Step forward with confidence. Walk boldly into what has been prepared for you, because this is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined. When the tide shifts in your favor, you will know it. The distractions will fade, the purpose will sharpen, and the fire within you will burn brighter than ever before. You will stand with a resilience that even you did not know you possessed. One day you will look back and see that every hardship, every loss, every test was not a delay. It was the foundation being laid for something far greater than you had imagined. Your time is near. Stand firm. The storm before the blessing is merely a sign that something magnificent is on its way.